Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. We've got another instalment of Macro Monday. Welcome. So we've got James Boag's Premium Lager, and that's by the James Boag Brewery out of Launceston in Tasmania, which is in Australia's south. This is 4.6 alcohol. Yeah, there's two main breweries in Tasmania. It's James Boag's, which is up in the north, and then you got Cascade down in the south. And the Tasmanian beer purists would hate me for this, but I'm about to pour the James Boag's into a Cascade glass. So let's get it. It's actually a pretty cool glass. I think a mate brought it back for me when they went on a Tasmanian trip. I haven't actually visited the either brewery, so in the glass, very clean and clear. Yeah, the carbonation's quite active. It's probably a light straw in colour. Looks a bit orange in the camera. Oh, that's probably better. It's probably just about a 2-finger head. And yeah, it's quite light. So let's give it a bit of a whiff. And cheers to our Ghost and Drewy in the chat. They're currently over on Drew's channel, Miscellaneous Brew Reviews, so go get around him. So it's just very subtle bread. Just like very light white bread, maybe a light touch of caramel. And a touch of lemon. Smells pretty similar to most macro lagers. I feel like with this one, it's quite clean. Like I feel like really good water quality down in Tasmania, and it doesn't have sort of some of those off flavors that macros have. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, peeps, and hope you've had a good weekend. It's so weird holding a beer like that. It's been a while. Yeah, quite bready. You're getting a touch of like pepper on the finish. Definitely like a hint of citrus. Like, yeah, I reckon it's like a touch of lemon. I'm not sure what hops they use. It's probably like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like like an old German or Czech, maybe even an Australian sort of variant. We have a hop in Australia that a lot of the macros use, like your Carlton United breweries. But yeah, they actually have hop farms down in Tasmania, so it'd be interesting to see what they use. But yeah, it's very clean, refreshing, sort of beer you could smash quite easily, like on a nice warm day. I call these like beer garden beers. But yeah, it's like I feel for a macro, it's quite enjoyable. Another thing too, blasphemous. I've got a VB hat on, but yeah, drink's quite easy. 4.6%. Most of them are around that mark. I've always thought, yeah, when it comes to Aussie macros, this is one that like I don't mind drinking. I just hate how all the kids these days, especially up north, they all go towards Great Northern and talk about how it's the greatest beer ever. But It just has no soul. Like at least this, you can taste like the malt and get the hop character as well. See, I've just gone back to holding the glass like I normally would. Yeah, Launceston's quite a nice place. I've been there once. But yeah, as I said, I didn't get to the brewery. Um, yeah, very chilled, like relaxed vibe. Launceston, like just Tasmania in a whole. But yeah, very beautiful down there. The beer scene in Hobart was actually really, really good. Like they had plenty of sort of breweries. They had like the main Cascade Brewery, which is macro, but then they had like quite a few like craft breweries. Then they had bars that served a lot of different Tasmanian beer as well. I've got to get back to Tassie. Next time I go there, I want to do more of the like real nice beaches on the east coast, and even like if I could do Cradle Mountain as well. But yeah, good old Macro Monday. It's back. It's back, baby. It went missing for a while. I was going to include Pilsner Urquell in Macro Monday, but yeah, I don't know. Pilsner Urquell's sort of its own little beast. It's got that nice foamy head that sticks around. Just to remind you that it's beer. But yeah, very clean. Like you can see straight through it. Yeah, very easy drinking. I they just happen to be in my local Aldi. It's the sort of beer you can normally get at most like liquor superstores or even some supermarkets. But yeah, I've seen it in Aldi, and it's rare to have like something like that there. So I was like, I'll get a 6 pack and give it a try. Because yeah, it's obviously a beer I've had heaps in the past, but just not recently. But yeah, it's got that I don't know what you'd compare it to like on a global. It tastes more like German style than Czech, but it's not sort of like North German real hoppy in your face. But yeah, I think these guys are part of the Lion Group. Yeah, so it's the same group that runs like Little Creatures. Um, yeah, they've got like quite a few beer ventures, but they're not yeah, nowhere near as big as like oh, I'm having a brain fart today. AB InBev and Asahi, those sort of companies. These guys are more. I think they specialise more in food. Lion Nathan, South African, I think. But yeah, so yeah, I'm hoping this American box comes this week. Preferably today or tomorrow would be great. Because yeah, as far as the fridge goes, starting to sort of run low. I've only really got mountain culture out there now. Um, yeah, it's like I'm sort of waiting on some new stuff so I can sort of start planning reviews. I mean, a lot of that mountain culture stuff I can review, but yeah, you don't want to do the same brewery every day. There's a couple of West Coasts out there. open ferment, wild ale. I think there's a New England or two, maybe a stout. They've been pumping out some good stuff. Yeah, this for a macro, I enjoy this. Like it's a sort of beer. Yeah, if like say if I went to a pub and they had a heap of macros lined up, this would be one I'd lean towards. I still I still prefer VB in Melbourne just because I feel like they've got I don't know more malt and hop presence. Like yeah, they're as I say with macros like soul. You want a beer to taste like beer. You don't want it to be watered down. And I mean, a lot of people out there do. They talk about when they say they love a beer, it's normally because it tastes like water and it's easy to drink. But yeah, and I do love the fact that there's big rivalry between Cascade and BOAG'S. That's pretty cool. Like region specific. It's good to have that competition. And I even noticed that, like, when I travelled from Hobart to I always say Lonnie. That's what most Aussies call it. As you went up the main highway through the centre of Tasmania, they all the pubs would be Cascade, 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 and then it'd start to sort of yeah, you'd get like a mixture of both, or like yeah, it'd start to go to the shift to the other one. So it's yeah, definitely BOAG'S in the north, sort of like northeast. I guess Hobart's sort of southeast too. Yeah, but yeah, down the gurgler. No, I haven't used that glass for a while. It's one of those glasses you sort of forget you have. Like it's an absolute banger of a glass, but it's just like yeah, a bit of a different style, and it's real big as well. And yeah, I don't have access to Cascade beers. Quite often I'm drinking like hashtag proper glassware. Hmm. Anyway, we'll wrap this up and I might go hang out with miscellaneous, perhaps. I've got a New England I want to drink, so that'll be all right. Pardon me. So score wise for that one, I can't really remember how I'd probably go. I'm going to go a 3.5 out of 5. I think that's sort of my when there's a macro that I don't mind, I think that's around the mark that I normally go. So yeah. So yeah, it's just known as premium lager, James Boag's premium lager by the James Boag Brewery. And yeah, they're like a part of the Lion Nathan group. Yeah, I think they have pretty sure they have other styles in their range. You just don't really see them. Like it's the sort of thing if you were down in Tassie, you'd probably see a heap, but they tend to Cascade and Boag's tend to stick to the mainland Tassie. It's probably just a pain in the bum for them to distribute to like the mainland Australia, especially too, because you're up against it with Carlton Draft and VB and all that sort of stuff. The competition's pretty fierce. So yeah, we'll see us on the next. Hopefully, I've got some American stuff soon. I'll do an unboxing, and also I want to do yeah, as I've said, the glassware one, and also I want to do the video like Paul from PA Brew News, where you talk about your favourite beer tubers under 1,000 subs and try and big them up. So yeah, I'm working on that. Probably do that this week sometime. In my head, I already sort of know who I'm going to say. So cheers, peeps. Thanks for chiming in. We'll see you again soon.